I feel sorry for everyone who plays Pokemon TCG Pocket, not just because they don't get to enjoy the fun of waiting 5 minutes for a Gardevoir player to end their turn, but also because they don't get to experience the joy of knowing new cards 2 months before they come out. I mean, could you imagine learning about a new set on launch day? YouTubers would be ruined. As PokeBeach reports, a special Unova Focus set featuring every black and white Pokemon will come to Pokemon TCG Live on July 17th. In Japan, it'll be released just over a month earlier on June 6th as Black Bolt and White Flare, a dual set with each featuring 86 cards. There's 156 Unova Pokemon, so if I did the math correctly, we should be getting 16 trainer cards in the set for a total of 172 cards. Basically, this is going to be very similar to 151. Except, and this is nuts, every single Pokemon will be getting an illustration rare. So there could be over 300 cards, and because it's a special set, there won't be any booster boxes. This means the amount of people lining up outside Target and Costco during restock days will be higher than a Rayquaza. Luckily, everyone watching this video is a civilized and sophisticated PTCGL player with mild brain damage, so we don't have to deal with all that tomfoolery. Unless you want to use those illustration rares in the game. Then you either have to buy codes, spend your hard-earned trainer points, or wait 6 months to spend your trade credits because the dev hates us. In the first of several weekly card reveals for Black Bolt and White Flare, we were shown the starters plus the legendaries. First up is Superior EX, which I couldn't be more disappointed by. Get this stage 2 into play, and your attacks do 20 extra damage to your opponent's active. It can stack, so if you somehow get 4 in play, that's an extra 80 damage. If you haven't already figured out who this reminds you of, Superior is basically just Lilligant, except Superior buffs all of your Pokemon, not just Grass or Fire types. Except Lilligant isn't really a playable card right now. Yet the Pokemon Company wants us to put a Stage 2 2-prizer into play to get the same damage increase? I mean, I'd rather play Skeledirge EX. Yeah, you have to discard a Fire Energy to use its ability, but it's plus 60, meaning 1 Skeledirge essentially equals 3 Superior. And if you're thinking about pairing Superior with a basic heavy deck, we already have a single prize Kingambit that's a plus 30 buff. To make matters worse, Superior's attack takes 4 energy and only does 150 damage. Sure, getting 3 cards from deck is good until they get Ionode away. Overall, Superior seems like a huge miss. Do you know who isn't a huge miss? Ariana Grande. Because she's tiny? You'll laugh later. Anyways, Emboar is a potentially great card. And best of all, they put 0 effort into it. Basically just a reprint of Emboar from the black and white days, it allows you to accelerate fire energy from your hand to your Pokemon however you want. If you're not a tired old boomer and don't remember the black and white era or VCRs, Emboar is Baxcalibur for fire energy. While Baxcalibur has fallen off a bit due to the prevalence of Badoo, expect Emboar to still be strong. One of the new partners for Emboar is Reshiram EX. While it only does 130 base damage for 3 energy, that's boosted by 50 for each prize card your opponent's taken. So it can get up to 330 or 380 towards the end of a game. You're probably wondering why I mentioned 380. Well, don't forget that we're getting 3 prize Mega Evolutions in September or November, meaning 380 hit point Pokemon could definitely be a thing. In addition to any colorless Pokemon you can think of, Emboar obviously pairs well with several other fire types. I've already seen people mention the spicy combo of Scoville EX plus Calamitous Snowy Mountain to deal 1700 damage, or just as a way to power up Gouging Fire EX without Sada's Vitality. On the single prize side, we have Ethan's Macargo, who can be paired with either Emboar or Ethan's Ho-Oh. And something like Armarouge EX could peg out with Emboar, dealing 320 damage with 7 energy attached. Stage 2 energy accelerators always do best with strong basics, so I'm hesitant to actually say these Stage 1 partners are good. But infinite acceleration is never a bad thing, unless you're out of shape and running towards the Pokemon card vending machine. For the final Unova starter, we have Samurott. At least upon first glance, the ability seems counterproductive. You can switch out your active whenever you want, which is good, but if you do, your opponent does the same thing. So it's essentially just escape rope. And because of that, they get to choose who they promote, meaning you can help them out with them giving you a Pokemon they don't mind losing. As for the attack, it's decent, dealing 30 base damage plus 50 more for each energy attached to it. While they're not one-to-one with each other since Samurott doesn't care about which energy it is, this just seems like a worse Wailord. Yeah, Wailord needs 4 energy to attack while Samurott needs 1, but the power levels are similar. Except Wailord is a stage 1 with 80 more hit points. Both need to rely on an energy accelerator like Baxcalibur to do major damage, so I guess I'm left wondering why Samurott has 2 swords but no hands. Also, I'm left wondering why you'd play Samurott over Waylord. Before I get to Zekrom EX and Kyurem EX, there's a Victini in the set. It sucks, barely any better than the Victini they gave us 14 years ago. Maybe we'll get a tool card that boosts Victini's attack by 100 or something, but 120 damage for 2 fire isn't that great to begin with. Add the stipulation of needing at least 5 bench Pokemon and it's downright horrible. Okay, remember that Reshiram card I talked about 69 seconds ago? Zekrom EX is literally a copy and paste except a lightning type. Because why put effort into creating unique cards when Control C is right there? For 2 lightning and a colorless, Zekrom can deal up to 380 damage depending on how many prize cards your opponent's taken. The lack of a lightning type stage 2 energy accelerator doesn't matter because we've got Electric Generator, Joltik, and Magneton. While Miraidon EX was recently saved from obscurity by the 30 hit point Joltik, I'm willing to go so far as to say that Zekrom brings classic Miraidon back to the forefront. I know it's wishful thinking, but ever since Raikou V and Raichu V left with rotation earlier this year, Miraidon's lacked someone who can hit hard. Zekrom can hit hard, it just takes a little time to get it up. Sure, Raging Bolt will still be the best basic deck that takes big KOs early, but if you go second, get an Iron Hands fully set up, attach a Heavy Baton, take 2 prizes, get Revenge KO'd, then attack with Zekrom, well, you still aren't one-shotting your Raging Bolt. Regardless, Zekrom makes Miraidon better, and that's something to get excited about. Finally, we have Kyurem EX. Obviously a partner for Baxcalibur, it does 130 damage for 2 water and a colorless. That's massively underwhelming. The added benefit is that it spreads 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon for each prize card they've taken. So at the start of a game, it's useless. But as the game progresses, you can be spreading anywhere from 10 to 50 damage to their entire bench. That's slightly more enticing. Except, of course, Shaman arrives in Destined Rivals at the end of the month, protecting all single prizes from bench damage. And Terra Pokemon have that stupid built-in bench barrier. So while Kyurem does have an interesting secondary effect, spread decks get so much worse come May 29th due to Shaman. And Kyurem's base 130 damage isn't enough to sustain you, so maybe it's a one of in a Chien-Pao Baxcalibur deck. Though even then, it just feels like Kyurem can't hold a Litwick to Radiant Greninja. Overall, the first reveals for the Unova special set were somewhat disappointing. Emboar seems solid, and Reshiram and Zekrom could make an impact, but Superior and Samurott don't appear to have a place in Standard. But I'm just some guy on the internet who pretends to know what he's talking about. Let me know your thoughts about these early card reveals in the comments below.